we'll see Ryan Tannehill and the Tennessee Titans taking on Justin Herbert and the LA Chargers.
Well, it may be a bit soggy, but that certainly hasn't deterred this fan base. A great crowd on hand to battle the raindrops at Nissan Stadium in Nashville. The whole of downtown Nashville likely still reverberating with the sounds of the Titans taking a field a moment ago. They're ready for football as their Titans are set to match up with the Los Angeles Chargers. On the return, Andy Isabella. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll run for the first time with Austin Eckler. And he's going to have just a couple here with a marker on the field as well. Can see this quite a bit on running plays with the guys out wide. A lot of times, though, it doesn't get caught.
You're exactly right, because it's away from the play usually, so a lot of it goes undetected. But I know this will surprise you. I coach some receivers in the offseason. We work a lot on hand placement and blocking downfield. Might want to take that course.
The numbers for him from a week ago. 15 carries, 74 yards.
Are we playing old school football now? We've got the top 10 rusher in the league. He's sitting at number 10, but he has a chance to move up with a big-time game. So expect that offensive line every time they go to the bench and tell the offensive coordinator, let's run the football.
From the 36, Herbert finds the open man. It's Mike Williams. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45.
Oh, that was a nice job there. Quarterback and receiver reading the pressure that was brought. They both knew it was going to open up the middle of the field. Nice little shake and bake at the line of scrimmage. Got right into his route. And the quarterback hit him in stride, and he was able to run free after the catch.
On 1st and 10, Herbert. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived. And I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Got an extra defensive back out there for the Titans now here for 3rd down. Now it's Herbert. It fights him off. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
Well, he had the right idea, but there was no one open downfield, so he climbed the pocket and took off. But what a nice job by the defense to stop him short of the 1st down.
And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. They snap it to Herbert. Open man, Parham. He's got him. And he's going to have the 1st down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. Herbert will give this one to Eckler. Down to about the 22 here. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
Here's the first carry for Northwestern's Justin Jackson. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
And he will get in across the chalk for a Chargers touchdown. Austin Eckler, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Chargers take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25. Tannehill and the Titans come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. On the ground, this is Derrick Henry. And a penalty flag down as he gets only about a yard. And let's listen in on the call. That time the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold them.
Tannehill going to turn and give this to Henry. And he's taken down. It's a gain of 3 from the 17 to the 20.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
On 2nd and 15 now, Tannehill. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Tannehill. That's complete to his running back, Carter. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. 5 yards, and that means they come up short as they're going to have to punt here on the opening drive. And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. Austin Eckler and the Charger offense reclaims center stage. And we checked the rushing numbers so far here into Week 6, and the returns have been really good. Now, you're starting to hit that stride middle of the season toward the end. They're certainly hoping they can keep up this production.
They are, because one of the adages in the NFL is that defense travels.
Touchdown, LA! Keenan Allen, his first touchdown on the year. And the Chargers get the quick strike touchdown. Extra point right down the middle. And it's now 14-0. They certainly made quick work of that, ultra quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see, just one play resulting in the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Here's Tannehill. Oh, and that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down. The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. Open man is McMath. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, you know, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
Rashaan Evans out of Alabama had the tackle defensively.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Back-to-back 4-yard runs. Now, look, if they just do that all the way downfield, ball ends up in the end zone, but that's a little difficult to do.
Yeah, I think now 3rd and 2, that defense ready to stiffen up and stop that run. They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler, and he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield.
Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to a whole lot.
Now, 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a first down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
From the 50, here's Herbert. He'll find Williams on the slant. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Running on first down, Eckler. And a good run as he manages 7 yards down to the 17.
And when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
Working with a 2nd and 3. Back to throw here, Herbert. This one caught by Isabella. Touchdown, Chargers. Andy Isabella with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Chargers find a way to stretch their lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 21-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. To return it, Darius Phillips. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to.
Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up 2nd down.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's going to get
fighting through it. He's got space. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
Now, that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Jerry Tillery in there to bury him for a loss of 11. Well, they're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21. Out of the gun, Tannehill. That's complete to his tight end, Ferkser. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he'll get this underneath to Henry. And he can only manage to get this to the 45-yard line. Well short of the first. So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. This will approach NFL record territory. It's a 62-yard attempt. That would have been from way downtown. Pretty big roll of the dice, and he comes up a bit short.
Yeah, you knew when you saw the holder setting up on the other side of the 50 that this was going to be a long shot. But to me, there's really no loss here because you've shown confidence in him. Kicking it from a long distance, that'll pay dividends. And the miss, you can shake that one off. He wasn't likely to make it in the first place.
And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets them back now for second down.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Herbert. Nowhere to go for Herbert, and he's going to go down. It's Jeffrey Simmons that time who got in to record the sack. Herbert off of play action. He's going to look for Allen now on the deep ball. And that is incomplete. Now the coverage excellent there downfield, and it leads to a 4th down. 4th down, and on is Ty Long to punt. Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. 36 yards on the punt with no return. And the Titans will be backed up deep to begin the drive as they take over 1st and 10. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. Looking deep for Julio. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off at the 23. And he'll take this down inside the 15-yard line. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And, Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them. And they took advantage of it there, got a nice interception, and set up their offense in great shape.
Eckler going to get it again on 2nd down. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 47 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
On 3rd down, here's Eckler. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Now, after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. They'll run for it with Eckler. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the 1st down as he's tackled at the 1. Deep in the red zone, seemed like they had their mind made up that was 4-down territory, and now they've got it inside the 5.
I like the way you looked at that because you're thinking just like a play caller and a head coach who gave the play caller that authority. It was 4-down territory. They went for it, picked it up. They didn't get the touchdown, but what a great consolation prize. A new set of downs and another shot at the end zone.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. They'll try the ground game with Jackson. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Justin Jackson, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Chargers are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Extra point forthcoming. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. On the return, Phillips. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Michael Davis. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. Second straight drive now here, Charles, and have ended with an interception.
And I just wonder, because I don't think it's going to rattle him necessarily, but I also wonder if it's going to unnerve him a little bit. Does it lead to another one, or does he find a way to pull it together and become sharp again?
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. A handoff. It's Eckler. 59 yards on the ground for him so far.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Second down at 4. Herbert now. Herbert has it knocked free. And that might be Titan football. It is. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Now Tennessee going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Tannehill going to throw on 3rd and 1. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Asante Samuel Jr. And the Chargers are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
He's airing it out for Williams. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. The hit comes late. We saw it. There's your flag.
And we know that there's a guideline, right? Ball's gone. You get one step. If you're within one step of the quarterback, you can hit him as long as it's still done legally. But anything outside of that, looks like an extra step was involved.
And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 30-second mark of this first half. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. They'll fake the handoff. Now Herbert. Trying to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked by Kevin Byard. And the Titans are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Gets this to Ferkser, the tight end. Now the Titans will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Tannehill on 3rd down. Looking downfield for Jones. It's caught inside the 25. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. And yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty. No question there.
You don't think they spent a couple of seconds mulling over what the penalty?
I don't even know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
Point after, right down the middle. And that'll cut the lead back down to 21. So time it up for a kickoff here. 5 seconds remaining in this first half. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The final shot before the break for Herbert. He's airing it out for Williams. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. So he comes out of nowhere. He's got this handlebar mustache, greasy hair. And he says, would you rather eat a jar of mayonnaise or 3 sticks of butter? And I'm like, well, all right, never mind. Third quarter action now. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball to the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
A great job there, Charles, just to hold on, absorb that contact. I guess that's the risk you take, catching the ball toward the middle of the field.
It is, and if you're going to gain yardage, you're going to have to go there at some point. But how about the read, okay? The eyes of that play, stepping out from the middle of the field and really making a big hit. Did not get free, but boy, that's a tough area to go into when you're going into his spot.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. A give to Henry. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time.
Well, they certainly haven't been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got to just pin their ears back and get after him now.
And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means fourth down. So give them 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that's going to bring up a fourth down. On is Kern, the punter, to send this one away. Looking into the raindrops, and he muffs it.
And that's what friends are for.
Right. As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turned it over there. That's a big momentum changer and put your defense in a bad spot.
Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Herbert. And that will be incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
On fourth down, Herbert. Well, this is caught by Williams. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Herbert on first down now. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 26, and they will take over at the 26-yard line. Tannehill and the Titans come up now 1st and 10 at their own 26. He'll start with a give to Henry. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Back to throw, Tannehill. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL.
And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. Matthew Ioannidis able to record his 5th sack of the season. Here's Brett Kern now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. It's fielded at the 45. Fighting his way through contact. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. 35 yards on the return. Picked up some good blocks as well. And he'll have a short field to go as this drive starts on the fringe of the red zone at the 20. On the give, this is Eckler. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Good, strong run against the 3-4 set. And that 3-4, you've got to have your guys up front eat up a lot of blocks. The guy playing over the center, the nose, he usually has to take on double teams. But when you're able to successfully move him, you're often able to get some yardage, and that's when linebackers have to clean up and make tackles.
They go jet sweep here with Williams. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. Now, after that last running play, we've got an offensive lineman down on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. Out of the gun, Herbert. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Bud Dupree coming in to drop it for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th.
And that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack, and that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Here we go on 4th. Herbert. Open space inside the 10. Touchdown! Mike Williams. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Chargers are going to add on to their lead. Extra point right down the middle. And that'll increase their lead to 28. So that drive, 4 plays. And it winds up with a touchdown for Los Angeles. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here's Tennessee ready to begin this drive offensively. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Now a handoff to Henry. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Derrick Henry. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Tannehill with a play fake to Henry. He'll throw instead. That's caught by McMahon. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. From the 50, it's Tannehill. Quick hitter here. It's complete. 3 yards the gain there. 2nd down. From the gun, here's Tannehill. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
Another attempt, another incompletion, and when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points, and the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Throwing again is Tannehill. And his throw here is incomplete.
And this continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Here we go. 49.
To throw again on 2nd down. Tannehill. This will go to Henry out wide. A nice move he had, but can't break away. And he's brought down just inside the 30. Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. Tannehill. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there. And now the red flag out on the field. We'll have a challenge forthcoming. And we'll get a moment here as they look this one over.
Yeah, remember now, the call on the field is what they'll stick with unless they have clear video evidence to the contrary. And I give these officials a lot of credit. Such a tough and...
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Ooh, yeah. Hey, we gotta get to that. Michael here. Ready? Go.
So the decision to challenge does not pan out, and that's also going to cost him a timeout.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about, and you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it, and oftentimes knock it away.
They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And he is out of bounds. Looks like right at the 15. So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and that's going to make it 4th down. They'll run for it with Henry, and he'll have the 1st down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Now Tannehill. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. A shotgun snap for Tannehill. Got him in. It's Brown. And the Titans are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line. Henry. Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out.
Wow. That ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position.
And he gets in. Touchdown, Tennessee. Darrington Evans, his 1st touchdown on the year. And the Titans get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit. Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll cut the lead back down to 21. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And this will not work out. The Chargers able to recover. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. For the effort, at least.
No, you can't at all, and if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it, but yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
They're going to hurry back to the line now. Once more, here's Eckler. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Eckler going to get it again on 2nd down. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Bringing him down defensively, Jayon Brown. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
No gain that time, and it leaves them with 3rd and 11 coming up. The Chargers on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. Play action. It's Herbert. Steps away. Herbert has it knocked free. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the 1st down at the 29.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
A field goal gets them closer, but they say no thanks. We want the lead. On 4th down, Herbert. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The 4th down play doesn't work for the Chargers. And as a result, it'll be Titan football on the turnover on downs. A throw left side to start the drive is complete. 7 yards the pickup there. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. So the Titans in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Henry. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. He completes it to Henry. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And that is going to set up a 3rd and 1. He's got a man. It's Berkser, the tight end. And he will have a Titans 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Henry. Now the Chargers will use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Again, Tannehill. Catch made right side by Wilson. Chargers going to use their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. From the red zone now, Tannehill. He's got his tight end over the middle. That's Berkser. He's down inside the 10 to the 8. And it comes on a gain of 8. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Ball on the 8, 2nd and 2. Tannehill. And it's caught. And it's a Titans touchdown. Derrick Henry. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Titans have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead will be cut down to 14. That time, a 9-play drive. And the result in the end, a Titans touchdown. So 2 scores down, time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. The Titans going to use the 1st of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds left to go. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. It's Eckler again. Now Tennessee going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. Here is Eckler. And he is going to have the 1st down, and that is going to suck the life right out of this crowd. Now the Titans will use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. Herbert will give this one to Eckler. Now the ball comes loose. And he'll stop it with a spike here with 7 seconds left on. The clock. Herbert on 3rd down now. That'll be caught. It's Isabella. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. So this one's over. It's in